Hello and welcome to Short Stories Podcast. I'm your host, Adam. In this podcast, we take short stories from submitting authors and produce them using vocal talent found here in Portland, Oregon. Today, we have the short story Break for you from writer Jessica Dylan Miele. Stay tuned after the story for more credits and kudos and for information on the next episode of Short Stories Podcast. I hope you enjoy.
The first thing the apprentice noticed about the glassblower's daughter was her hands. They were small but rough and squarish, with dirt caked beneath her fingernails, and as she spoke, they fluttered about and polished the air so that the sunlight was particularly shiny wherever she was. What she talked about mostly was science, like how atoms behave as glass cools and hardens. The apprentice didn't believe in science, but she had such pretty lips, he used every opportunity to encourage her to speak. There was no way the glassblower, nor the glassblower's wife, would approve of a marriage between the apprentice and their daughter. The only way they could be together, he knew, was if they ran away. On the night of a full moon, the apprentice found the girl on the roof of her house, staring into a telescope.
I'm afraid of heights.
He stopped on the top rung of the ladder, watching her.
I'm not afraid of anything,
said the girl.
Are you afraid to kiss me?
I'm not afraid,
said the girl. She peered down at him, surveying him with wide eyes.
I just don't want to.
The apprentice slowly climbed down from the roof. Glad to be back on the ground where it was safe, he vowed to leave the glassblower's daughter alone for good. But on the night of the next full moon, he came home from the bar feeling warm with wine and looked up to see the girl standing on the rooftop. He fetched the ladder once again, but instead of asking for a kiss, he asked her about her theory of color and light. She talked until dawn. It was difficult, but the apprentice was able to keep himself away from the glassblower's daughter. Then the full moon appeared once again in the night sky, and his willpower was no match. This time, when the apprentice climbed up to the roof, the girl was waiting. With a kiss. It was a powerful kiss, so powerful that when their lips touched, lightning appeared in the sky. The girl wanted to study the lightning through her telescope, but the apprentice knew they were in trouble. The glassblower was sure to find out what had happened because he was a smart man and had already begun to have his suspicions.
We must leave right now,
said the apprentice.
I know where we can find a horse.
But I want to travel by sea,
said the girl.
Let's wait a while and build a boat.
No time to wait,
said the apprentice. The stallion they spirited away was a great white beast with blue eyes, and he galloped as fast as wildfire. After 3 weeks, the stallion's heart couldn't take any more, and the beast lay down to die. They arrived at a town dusted with charcoal, nowhere near the city the apprentice had in mind, but there was nothing to do but make the most out of their new home. The apprentice found work at a printing press, and it upset the girl how easily he could switch from glassblowing to printing. His heart had never been in the art of shaping molten glass, the girl realized, and she felt betrayed. She was also upset because they had no money to purchase a new telescope. She had no friends in her new place, and she hated how dim the stars looked compared to what she had feasted her eyes on back home. The apprentice bought her a puppy to cheer her up, but the puppy soon died and the girl was inconsolable. She cried without ceasing, so much so that even an engagement ring could not stay her tears.
Stop feeling sorry for yourself,
the apprentice finally said.
It's not my fault you're miserable. It's not my fault your puppy died, nor is it my fault the stars are dimmer here. Quit blaming this all on me.
But it's your fault I have no friends,
the girl wailed.
Because you are no friend of mine.
If that's how you feel, then you should return to where you came from,
said the apprentice. The girl dried her eyes.
Truly?
But first,
said the apprentice,
let me kiss your hands.
The apprentice bent down and kissed each one of the girl's fingers, pausing to gently touch his tongue to the glass stone of her gold ring. He kissed each knuckle and he kissed the backs of her hands. He kissed with such overwhelming heartache and love that the girl's hands crystallized, cracked, and shattered at the wrists. The girl looked at her arm stumps and howled. The apprentice smiled, still holding onto the girl's dead hands.
Tell me, isn't there anything you're afraid of? Anything at all?
The glassblower's daughter was scared to go home, but her parents gave her a warm welcome on the day she arrived. Her mother baked a chocolate cherry cake and fed it to the girl bite by bite. The glassblower gave his daughter a furious hug and said he would try to fix her as best he could. He stayed in his workroom day and night, and coffee was the only thing he would consume. He grew thin, and he stared into the oven for so long, fire was permanently reflected in his dark brown eyes. At long last, the glassblower emerged from his workroom with a pair of beautifully crafted hands.
I will make hundreds more, so that you may be able to express your every thought.
Each morning, the glassblower's daughter woke up to the sound of the wind in the trees and tried to decide in what position she should wear her hands. She liked best when she could point with her index fingers so that she could show people the beauty around them when they insisted on lamenting about her ill fortune. But for some reason, her pointer fingers kept breaking and the glassblower would disappear into his workroom, determined to fix what his daughter had lost.
Okay, that was the short story Break by Jessica Dillon Miele. You can find more of her work on her website, jessicareads.com. That's just JESSICAREADS.com. Thanks to actors Stacey Halal, Alyssa Bagan, and DJ Hupp for lending their exceptional talent to this story. Thanks to the band Skane for the use of their music in this episode. And as always, thanks to Mike Major over at majordesign.co for the awesome album artwork. Check out the blog where you can find past episodes and other information at shortstoriespodcast.com. If you'd like to submit a short story for production on Short Stories Podcast, please email submit@shortstoriespodcast.com and we'll be sure to consider your story. Thanks so much.